Hi guys, welcome to DOdaily. It's Des here. Thursday thoughts, your questions and answers, your questions answered. It's not live today, as you can see. I'm out on the beach, absolutely amazing. It's not as warm as it has been. It's a bit blustery, but as you can see, it's absolutely fantastic down here. It's so peaceful and quiet. I've really fallen in love with this place. So if you ever get a chance to visit Caton Bay, please do. Absolutely awesome. I've really enjoyed my time. We've been out today. We've been out on a bit of a road trip to Whitby. Okay, an appearance. Really nice place. Really picturesque and pretty, and lots to do there. But to be honest, I've really made the most of this place and the walking, and actually doing the things I love doing at home, but in a new surroundings and new inspiration. It's absolutely amazing. I'll try and answer your questions the best I can today. Hopefully being outside, doing it on the beach, comes across well. I've got a piece of paper in my hand, so not as prepared as normal, but nonetheless managed so far this week, and whilst we've been having a few signal issues, it's gone down well, thankfully. Hope you guys are enjoying it, just seeing what I'm doing from somewhere slightly different. It's been hard work personally, amongst everything, amongst trying to enjoy ourselves. No relenting on the work side of things in terms of DOdaily and do running, but that's what it's about for me. It's just something I really enjoy. It's a big part of my life, so it's important for me to carry on in the same vein and be consistent. That's one of the big things I always say. It's about being consistent in the offer, so people know you're available and what's available, and that there's something there for them. I think that's particularly important today. Anybody that knows the Do running community and knows myself will know how important mental health and approaching the subject in a sort of relatable, honest and relatable, understandable way, as not to scare anybody, I guess, into thinking it's all a bit too much. Of course, today is World Suicide Awareness and Prevention Day. It's quite a poignant time for myself, One of the real reasons I do what I do and the reason DOdaily is what it is because not long after starting the running club, 3 years ago now, one of the guys who really came along and embraced it, Jamie, as we affectionately know him, unfortunately lost his battle with mental health. And like I say, what really stood out to me was how much he did embrace the group, how much he was trying. And while some people say it's the easy way out, I don't think it was there. He was obviously really trying to make a difference. Unfortunately, we came along just that little bit too late, but I kind of, by relating to his situation at the time, by being in a similar place, obviously nowhere near as bad as he was, I could really relate, and it made me want to sort of progress the group, expand on what we do, and look at mental health and how we can help each other. And it's always been a little bit of a focus around the group, like I say, without pushing too much, without trying to scare anybody into that kind of thing. It's a touchy subject. It's hard for people to deal with and talk about, but where we can, we talk about it. Lots of people have spoken to me over time, personally, one-to-one, and whilst it's difficult, and whilst I'd rather not do that for the obvious reasons, it's really sort of humbling, and I'm so grateful that people have taken a leap of faith in me like that, and it's something I want to develop. I keep working on it. I'm currently working on a course to be a trainer in CBT, a teaching qualification, so it's really important for me to keep progressing, keep looking at this subject. I don't want to make it all about one subject, or of course we've got a major drive. I'm trying to keep people active, trying to get people out there, but I know personally this is one of the things that really helped me when I was starting my journey, so to speak, of into running and getting fit and healthy and losing weight, it really helped with my mental health too, because unfortunately a lot of these things go hand in hand, and we have to, it sounds like a big ask to start with, but one by one we can sort of break down the little barriers along the way and sort of work to the bigger picture. Hopefully people understand that we're there for them and understand that message. Posted on social media last night, I kind of revisited a post I made a year ago. Do you know, it's really important for us to remember our Jamie and really sort of embrace a person that was really, really trying, and somebody perhaps in a different time we could have helped so much. But on to the questions. So basically, of course I went to football this week whilst I've been away. One of the things I was saying earlier in the week, and whilst I've got a few difficulties at the moment, is to get out and do different things, enjoy the things we do, you know, make the most of them, really sort of look forward to them, be enthusiastic. You know, it's too much doom and gloom at the moment, you know, with lockdown and COVID. So what I'm trying to do when I can do something, whilst I'm missing going to Forest and the big atmosphere of 30,000 inside the world famous City Ground, it's really important for me to just do the things I can. And this week I went along to Bridlington Town versus Scarborough. I absolutely loved it. Do you know, a local non-league game whilst I was away, cheap, cheerful, good standard as well, so really, really enjoyed that. And the first question's on the back of that really. Ian asked me, apart from that and another local game I went to in Nottingham at Baseford United, where is the quirkiest ground I've been to? Well, there's a few really, and it depends on how you look at it, Ian, but I've been to other non-league grounds. I spent a little time following Carlton Town FC a few years ago, and that took me to places like Goole in the FA Cup, and a really, really nice one in the middle of the Peak District. It's Stocksbridge. I can't remember the other names, but it's a team that Jamie Vardy used to play for. He before he started his journey from basically rags to riches, from non-league up to the Premier League and playing for England, of course. So that was a really nice place, and they had some great Jamie Vardy memorabilia, so any football fans will know that. But I've also been to I've also watched football in other countries. I've been to Scotland and watched quite a bit of football. I had a friend who was a Dunfermline Athletic fan, do you know, so I've been to Rangers and Celtic, two kind of bucket listers on the football fans list. I've been to Hearts in Edinburgh and Dunfermline themselves, and then I've been to others. I've been to Inter Bratislava. That's probably the quirkiest of them all. A small ground in the old Eastern Bloc, do you know. I actually said to the guys, I was on a stag do, there was 6 of us, and I says, I'll get this, guys, when we was going into the ground, and it was £4 for 6 entry fees, 6 tickets, and we had 6 pints actually on the turnstile, and it all came to £4. So that's a little story to tell about that. Really enjoyed that, 6 of us on a stag do, so that was a great day. So a couple of quirky ones there, Ian. Which ones have you been to? Next question. Next question was from Wayne. Wayne basically says that he's been going to the gym and been going to classes recently, potentially up to 20 people been in them. Why is it that running is still, outdoor running groups are still unavailable? The honest answer is, Wayne, I don't know. Wayne, the tone of Wayne's question, he sounded a bit frustrated by that and a bit confused. And to be honest, so am I. Do you know, at the moment, I'm following the rules set by Sport England. Whilst we're not governed by those, I mentioned this last week, whilst we're not governed by those, it's important for me to sort of use some kind of structure so we're not seen to be sort of pushing the limits too much, so we're not pushing too far. Of course, on Monday, I'd set up a little group, you know, where I limited the numbers. It was a paid activity called Definitely Not a Boot Camp, something where I'm looking to inspire people. But the point of me doing that was to limit the numbers that came. I've always said with Do Running in particular that I don't want to set up the groups again and have to limit the numbers. It's not really the way I like to do things. Of course, I always say people are always welcome, no matter how long it is since they've been, or if they're first time. Do you know, it's really important for people just to sort of come along, no matter how many are there, get welcomed into the group and really enjoy what we do. So whilst I don't have to put that measure in place, and whilst there's no restrictions in terms of dealing with that, I don't want to be restricted by just 12 people. 12 people don't always turn up to a Do Running session. Sometimes 30 people turn up. So if I put that restriction in already, people might be disappointed from the outset. And whilst everybody's really looking forward to getting back into the group situation, for now I feel it's really important for us as a group just to sit tight, see what happens. I think a lot's changing at the moment, isn't it? Yesterday's announcements were a little bit difficult to take, a little bit tough on some, you know. People are still getting their head around them, still waiting to see what's going to happen, you know. Spoke yesterday about Park Run being available to us all again. Is that going to happen? I really hope so, because I mentioned how much we're looking forward to it. We'll have to wait and see. You know, I think we've said a lot through COVID. It's about not looking too far ahead, seeing what we've got right now and going with it, I'm afraid. You know, don't get too disheartened. Keep doing the things that people are offering you. You definitely can do, and we'll definitely get that running club back up and running soon. Moving on, guys, the next question was from Simon. Simon said, who has been the biggest, sorry, I'll start that again, it's a little bit tricky to read the question in the wind. What or who has been the biggest effect on your outlook to activity and life possibility, and who is providing that inspiration right now? Well, the first bit of that question, Simon, who has had the biggest effect on me? To be honest, I'm not quite sure. I found some real inner determination a few years ago to start the journey I've taken, you know, to look at the weight loss, to get into running, to focus on mental health and all these things I want to really make a difference with. So it all come from a bit of inner strength to start with. I was in a bad place. I was really struggling, really needed to refocus and decide what I wanted to do. Do you know, and I found that for myself, I got myself into losing weight, I got myself into running. Of course, that led on to a charity event, which led on to the running group. And I've already spoken there about Jamie and the situation. So it was really important to sort of do something off the back of that. And Jamie inspires me all the time. Like I say, looking at his situation as it was, it wasn't too far removed from where I was. Do you know, and I understood how quickly things can sort of develop and get worse, sort of regress. So Jamie's definitely somebody who inspires me every day. Do you know, people are always questioning me and what I do. Do you know, I've not done these things before. I've chosen to do it quite late in my life. Do you know, people probably wonder why and what's he saying this for and what's he doing. And the real reason I do that is because I want to, do you know, somebody really inspired me. I was humble enough, I was honest enough to sort of admit where I felt I was going wrong personally, where I wasn't comfortable in my own life. And by using that such negativity to create this positive environment we now have, I'm really proud of myself. I'm really pleased at what it is. And whilst all those people are questioning, it doesn't really matter. It's important for me to keep passing the message on. I know people find the subject difficult. I've already mentioned that. But it's really important just to keep pushing on. Do you know, keep doing what I do. Do you know, people will understand eventually. Do Daily is all about wanting to help, wanting to support. I put in my social media post yesterday, I'm always putting myself out there. I often feel very vulnerable in the things I say this last week in particular. I've been really struggling personally, not struggling with mental health, but struggling with situations that I can't sort straight away. I like to be in control of what I'm doing and on top of things, just like everybody else. But it's been a real sort of struggle. But again, I found that positivity. I use things all around me. Right now I'm at Caton Bay, and whilst kind of had nothing to do with it because it's coincidence, we was invited by Kay's mum and dad. A couple of weeks ago I spoke to Mark Crossley. He's done a lot of walking, of course. We spoke about walking on the Sunday Social, and this was one of the places he's been to since that conversation. So looking in at what he does, do you know, he's inspiring me to keep walking. Whilst running is my first love, do you know, it's my real passion. It's important for me to get out there as well and get walking. And when you see someone like Mark doing it, somebody I've watched growing up, it's really important. Of course, I've said Mark Dennison as well. It's a real inspiration. And Helen Hood, the 3 guests I've had so far on the Sunday Social. I went to Park Run, didn't really know what it was all about, but I tried to sort of, from watching on it, what Helen does and what the volunteers they do, I like to get involved in that as well. So it's just about taking things on board sometimes. Like I say, being a little bit humble. It's like what I said about being enthusiastic. You've got to prepare yourself. Whilst we can't change everything, whilst difficult situations come along all the time, it's about preparing yourself and giving yourself the best opportunity to make a go of things. And that's what I try and do, and that's where this kind of recent positivity's come from. I'm still not sure what's going to happen next, but for now, for the rest of this little staycation, what I can do is just enjoy what I'm doing and be grateful for what I've got. The next question, guys, sorry, I'm just Ben says to me, if you could visit your pre-running days, your pre-running self, what would you say to encourage activity? Well, what I say every day, just doing it, just do it. But can't say that one, that's somebody else's tagline. It's just get out there and do it, to be honest. You know, I mulled over losing weight and activity for such a long time, probably about 10-12 years. You know, from my early 20s where I was really active, played football for local teams, just gradually put on weight, you know, lived a certain lifestyle. You know, I still live that lifestyle to some degree. Whilst I'm not drinking now, I still like the social side of what we do and getting involved. And I suppose that's one of the things I could say. You won't lose that social life by getting into activity. You'll probably build on it, because that's what I found. All my friends now have got the same hobbies. They're always available to do the same events. They love Park Run, they love the running group. Do you know, so you really find that social circle. And when you're young, I guess, you don't like to admit that. You know, you don't like to admit you've got to get out there and make new friends and put yourself out your comfort zone again. But it's really important that you do, because we can get so much from it. One last question, guys, before we go. My arm's really aching, by the way. I was having a conversation just before I popped down to the beach with Kay's dad, Nobby, aka Russell, about music, and he was on about when he played rugby. Whilst they were training, they used to play marching music to get them into routine and rhythm and doing the right thing, you know, stuff that you probably hear in the army. So he had a quick question for me to pop on the end, which I'll happily answer. So basically, what's your favourite song and band to train to or run to or take part in activity to? So my favourite band of all time is the Stereophonics. I absolutely love what they do. You know, one of the last things I did actually before lockdown, so look back on that day and really sort of with good friends and really sort of pleased that I got to do that, you know, really enjoyed that. But anyway, they're my favourite band, and my favourite song is Local Boy in a Photograph. It's a great song. It's my favourite song of all time, but I don't necessarily listen to that whilst I'm out running or taking part. I tend to put the Rocky soundtrack on. Bit boring, I know, but it's one we can all relate to. You know, it gets the heartbeat going, gets the tempo up, and we can really sort of feel like we're achieving something great whilst we're taking part in activity. And it really does the trick for me. So I just thought I'd pop that one in before I go. Of course, this week, as if you didn't know by now, I've been away for a few days. Really enjoyed what I can. I've never been to this place before, and I touched on there that Mark kind of inspired me, Mark Crossley. By all his walking, it made me realise that the opportunity's here. I might have come here and just enjoyed the bigger towns and all the things to do there, but I've managed to get up, particularly that up on the top of there. That was absolutely amazing, and the views up there are phenomenal. And I hope to get up there again in the morning. But before that, the throwback question this week, I think it'd be really good to know which place or holiday, vacation or city break or anywhere you want, anywhere you visited, which place really inspires you. I'd love to hear that. Please comment below this video or throughout the week on any of the social media. I'd love to read those back. Come on guys, I asked a question last week about what makes you proud, and people were really reluctant to tell us, you know, what's made them proud during lockdown. So answer this one, which place really inspires you? A couple of people have already said to me, I've got to get myself up there. You really have. But that's great, isn't it? Because people are using me and DOdaily and everybody else as well, you know, just to sort of look on and go, oh yeah, I like the look of that. And it's what I say about being humble, being true to yourself, and if you like something, just give it a go. Just keep doing the things you do, guys. Get out, get active, you know. That's one of the main reasons I'm here, to support activity, you know, and at the same time we'll try and tackle some of these issues in the meantime. Hope this has all come out well. I have no idea. I've had to stop a couple of times because my arm was aching, but hopefully it's passed on some useful information. I'll be back first thing in the morning. I'll show you once again. I'm going up there to do my video. I'm going to make it work somehow. Look out for that. What a place to do it. Of course, in normal, if I was at home, I'd be out and about in Nottingham, but I've got an amazing location up there and hopefully a little surprise. So until then, have a great day. Look forward to the weekend. Get plenty of plans made. Get that activity in. I'm going to walk back and take a breather. Just doing it.